Most buyers looking at luxury condos in Tampa Bay think they're making a comparison. They're not. They're reacting. They're reacting to finishes, views, staging, the feeling of walking into something that looks clean, new, and elevated. And on the surface, Marina Pointe delivers that very well. But the mistake isn't choosing a bad building. The mistake is choosing based on what you can see instead what you'll actually experience once you live here. Because once you move in, the decision is no longer about how it looks, how it photographed, how it felt for 20 minutes during a showing. It becomes about how your day flows, how the building handles pressure, how your environment behaves over time. And this is where most buyers lose control of the decision. So today, we're using Marina Pointe as a case study. But this is not about this building alone. This is about how to evaluate any luxury condo in Tampa Bay properly. Every luxury building sells perception first, and perceptions are easy to create. Clean lobby, glass everywhere, high ceilings, neutral finishes, waterfront views. But perception does not carry your daily life. This is where the first evaluation framework matters. We call it perception versus daily friction. Daily friction is everything that doesn't show up. In a listing, online, it's how long you wait for elevators at 8 a.m., how deliveries are handled, whether guests feel like an interruption or part of the flow, how sound moves between units, and how easy it is to move through the building without thinking. And what makes Marina Pointe interesting is that it actually performs better than average in this category. The building isn't just designed to look good. It's designed to move people efficiently. And that's a very different level of thinking. Because when this is done right, you don't notice it. You don't think about it. Your day just works. When it's done wrong, it slowly builds frustration and you don't realize why.
This is part of buyers usually don't see unless they lived in a building like this before. When you walk in here, everything feels calm. It feels organized. But what matters is what happens when the building is fully active. And that's where buildings either hold up or start to break. From what we see here, the layout is clean, movement is predictable, nothing feels congested, and that's not something you get in every newer building. Some places look good during a showing, but once people move in, you start to feel bottlenecks, noise, and shared spaces, pressure here. The structure feels more intentional.
So most buyers evaluate location incorrectly. They reduce it to distance. How far is this from downtown? How far is it from restaurants? How far is from work? But distance is not what defines your lifestyle. Two places can be equally close, equally far, and still feel completely different to live in. Because access includes how you enter and exit, how traffic behaves, how natural movement feels, whether your life feels connected or segmented. Marina Pointe sits in a planned environment. That means cleaner layout, less chaos, more predictability. But it also means less organic energy, less density, less built-in walkability compared to other areas. So the real decision is not, is this close enough? The real decision is, does this match how I actually live?
When you compare this to other paths or parts of Tampa, especially older areas, you feel the difference immediately. This area feels structured. It feels controlled. Some buyers love that it's easier to navigate, quieter, and more consistent. Others expect more walkability, spontaneous activity, and things happening around them all the time. So it really comes down to what kind of environment you want to live in every day.
Absolutely, David. Waterfront changes buyer behavior instantly. The moment someone sees a view like this, the decision shifts. And that's normal. But it's also dangerous if you don't control it. Because what you're paying for is not just the view. You're paying for orientation, light exposure, heat, usability of space long term, and comfort. And this is where buyers overpay. Not because the property isn't worth it, but because they didn't evaluate what they were actually buying. So when you look at a building like this, the mistake is thinking it's about whether it's good or bad.
That's right, Monica. Yeah, it's more about whether it fits how you live.
Exactly. Because it does a lot of things right.
But it's not going to work for everyone.
And that's the real decision. Luxury condos are not interchangeable. And Marina Pointe is a perfect example of that. Because what you're really choosing here isn't the unit. It's how your day is going to function once you live in it. How you move, how things flow, what feels easy, and what slowly creates friction over time. And that's the part most buyers don't see when they're walking through a property like this. If you're seriously looking at condos like this in Tampa Bay,
and you want to understand the trade-offs before you decide,
reach out. We'll help you break it down based on how you actually live, not just how it looks.
Florida living isn't measured in distance.
It's measured in daily friction.
We'll see you next week.